you follow high school sports? The San Diego Union Tribune's free UT Preps app is the go-to source for your favorite high school sports teams. Get schedules, scores, standings, news, and more right on your phone. Follow your favorite high school team by sport. Share photos and videos right from the game. See rosters and player profiles complete with game-by-game statistics and receive push notifications for game updates. Don't miss any of the action at Oceanside, Chula Vista, Torrey Pines, and many more San Diego schools. Download the free UT Preps app on Google Play or the Apple App Store.
Welcome to the 7th edition of the San Diego Prep Insider Podcast. I'm Tommy Morris, joined by Montel Allen from NBA Sports and San Diego Friday Night Lights Magazine. Montel, how's it going?
Pretty good, Tommy. How's everything going with you?
Good. I hate to brag, but I had a pretty good week 3, so I'm feeling pretty amazing right now.
Excellent week 3. I mean, you cleaned the house. I think you went undefeated, am I correct?
I did, and you almost did with me. We only had one difference, but we'll look at that later. We got to get to our top 10 before we recap last week. Montel, who do you have at number 10?
Absolutely. So my number 10, I got Mission Bay. I think Derek Clark and the guys are coming together. They're 3-0 right now, playing excellent on offense and defensive side of the ball. I know they haven't played against the toughest competition, but they're hitting on all cylinders right now. At number 9, Westview. Nice defense, been also great receiver, athlete on their team. They're hitting on all cylinders right now. I think they're warned of number 9.
2 new entries right away.
Say it again, Tommy?
2 new entries right away in your top 10.
New entries right away. I mean, I think I'm gonna treat this like the NCAA. You lose, you're out. So we'll go like that. So Rancho Bernardo again at number 8. They're running the ball excellent. That offensive line is picked up from last year. Great running back they have over there. So they have the number 8. Number 7 is Christian. They're still doing good, even though they had a tough loss. Petty did everything he could possibly do to win that game, but it was a tough one. Cathedral's at number 6. They're they're 1 and 2, but they had a tough schedule so far. Oceanside's number 5. Madison's number 4. Helix, I got as number 3 right now. I know people have them at number 2. I wanted to put them there at 2, but there's no reason for them to be there as of right now. I know Saints lost, but Saints almost won that game. They came back. And my whole number 1 is Mission Hills. They went down to Long Beach and destroyed that team. So they stayed there.
I'm going to go through mine real quick. Number 10, I got El Camino, beat Poway by 5. That's a good win. Christian drops all the way down to 9. Salesian, I know it's an LA team, but I was expecting them to win that game. San Marcos at number 8 with a pretty handily win there against Escondidos, 43-7. Madison I have at number 7 now. Rancho Bernardo all the way up to number 6 this week for me. Oceanside beat Chaparral, not the one from Arizona that we saw a couple weeks ago, but the one from Temecula. Kind of a close game, so kept them number 5. Cathedral number 4. Good winning at Torrey Pines. They were winning 28-0, and then ended up being 28-14, so it was actually a bigger margin of defeat there than it looks. Saints, tough loss to Loyola. Again, that's like the LA version of them. That's like the LA Saints, if you will. This is a good game. No shame in losing that one. Number 2, Mission Hills.
Wow.
They beat another team from LA. Again, Milken, not a team that's that impressive. They blew them out. They beat them by 41. Gotta have Helix number 1 still. I mean, they're 1-1. Their one loss was a very good loss. I
hear you, and I think Helix has all the tools to be number 1. Obviously, I think anyone through our 1 through 4 can be number 1. I just think that Mission Hills is like the Alabamas of the world. If they don't do anything to lose the number 1 spot, I think they still to be there. And Troy Warner, Dakota Miller, and their running back over there is just playing phenomenal football right now. So I can do both lists. I think are great. I think we kind of have a combination of a few new guys, and a few of the same guys. Same usual suspects are in there as well, and at the top 10. But I think we're rolling on all cylinders right now.
Yep, and we'll see how this all shakes out for next week. A couple big games, and we'll be picking them. Speaking of the games, last week we picked 6 of them, as we always do, the pick 6. Very similar picks for both of us. We only disagree on one game, and that was Lincoln Point Loma. Point Loma won that thing on a Saturday afternoon, so I take that one. Other than that, we got them all right. We both had Madison, Helix, Cathedral, El Camino, and Rancho Bernardo. So good week for both of us. I mean,
yeah, 5-1 and 6. We can't complain too much. We had to disagree on one.
We had to disagree on one, and we have a couple disagreements for this week. So I'm excited to hear your takes on our pick 6, starting with Cathedral Catholic and Helix, a huge game over there in La Mesa.
I think it's going to be a huge game for Cathedral. If they lose this game, they go to 1-3, which doesn't, it's not going to look too good on them, especially with the rest of their schedule, even if they went out. Helix right now, I think, has all the tools, obviously, to pull it on off. I think they have too much speed. Even though Tyson's back, Tyson Wild back for Cathedral, I don't think he'll be enough to stop, that monster over there, Helix, with Austin and the Stevensons and Wood and, Scotty Young on the other side of the ball and all those guys over there. I just don't think Cathedral has enough, so I'm picking Helix in that one.
Yeah, I think Cathedral's a good team. They've played probably the toughest schedule of anyone in the county, but I put Helix number 1 for a reason, so picking Helix. Moving on to another big matchup, a team that was in our top 10 for a while, Eastlake, no longer in there, taking on Madison.
Yeah, you know what? Eastlake, I would say, arguably with Cathedral, has the toughest schedule in the county. I mean, they've been in our top game every week except for probably 1 or 2 when they play the LA teams. But again, I think going into Eastlake, I know they have Traylon Reed. They played their heart out. We know Helix was too much. Helix is pretty much too much for everybody. And I think Madison is going to be too much for them as well. I think Brandon Lewis and those guys got a little bit too much speed on there. The quarterback is over there coming around really, really well for Madison. And Follow was just leading that D-line like no other. He's been a beast at the D and D tackle for Madison. I don't think Eastlake has enough. They surprised me, though. They do play very, very well when their back's against the wall. But I'm not quite sure if they have enough offensive weapons to compete and keep up with Madison. So I'm going with Madison on that one.
Yeah, I had to go to Madison on this one, too. I was expecting Helix to win last week. I was just expecting it to be a little closer. So I got to go with Madison winning in this one. Going up to the North County, RB and LCC. Who do you have?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go straight. Our Rancho Bernardo, that offensive line has been absolutely fantastic this year. I don't know if they're giving up any sacks. If they have, there's been very little. They're opening up the holes for their running back. Their offense is kind of reminds me of the Miami Dolphins back in the day, the no-name defense. They're like the no-name offense. They don't really have a particular star, but collectively all together, they're putting it all together. I got RB beating LCC.
Here we have our first disagreement. Finally, more than one, I think, this week. LCC, I've got them kind of in upset fashion. They had a good showing last week in their game. They had the USA game. They had all the students out. They're all fired up. And I think they're going to win this one, too. And got to give a shout-out to their kicker, Jake Conkey, one of the best kickers in the county. I know kickers never get any love anywhere, so I had to make sure that I threw out his name. He's got a couple offers already. So, hey, go watch a kid kick the ball. It's exciting. I don't know. Kid boot a 50 field goal.
If it comes down to a field goal and LCC has the ball, hey, Jake's the man. I think he can nail it and he'll win. I don't know if they have enough on the defensive side to stop that RB offense. And Rancho Bernardo, let's be perfectly honest. I mean, this is gonna probably be their biggest test, or their biggest test so far in playing someone. So I'm glad we have a split in here. We'll see which one comes out a little bit better. I think RB's offense is a little bit better than LCC's defense, though.
Now we'll go a little bit more south. Lincoln at Olympian.
I liked Lincoln until I saw them play last week. Point Loma physically just beat them up, and it's kind of weird because Lincoln did a very, very, really good job against Carlsbad. They came out, they were firing on all cylinders, and then they come to Point Loma and they lay an egg. So I'm not quite sure what team to pick. So I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going with Olympian. I think Olympian, they've been playing consistent ball, and I like consistency better than the team that's going up and down. I'm not sure what roller coaster Lincoln is on right now, so I'm going to go with the steady guys over there, Olympian. I think I picked them to win. Yeah,
Olympian has a really, really good athlete at quarterback. Someone who not a lot of people talk about, Gary Cannon, great player. But I'm going to go with Lincoln because I think last week kind of woke them up. Maybe they're coming in there too high and mighty after a good game against Carlsbad, thinking they were going to roll over Point Loma, even though they were mistaken. So I think that kind of woke them up, and I think they'll be awake this week, ready to go. I think it'll be really close, but I think Lincoln in a close one.
Okay, good. We got 2 disagreements. That's great. I can catch up on some ground.
Another one, a couple teams we haven't really talked about yet. Valhalla traveling to Mar Vista.
Yeah, these are really actually 2 really, really good teams. Mar Vista's doing very, very good in the South Bay, and Valhalla in the East County, which is always tough. I believe they're 2-1 right now. I like Valhalla, and I like Valhalla to win this, and I'll tell you exactly why. I think that Orange Crush defense over there is very, very, very good. They have Danny Bender, who's a highly touted prospect all over the country. I think Duke is looking at him. Also, a few other teams, Boston College and whatnot. And then they got Logan Baker, who has been the leading tackler in the county, I think, for the past 2 years. They're clicking on all cylinders. Plus, Valhalla has that super junior, the big running back kid. They can pound it when they get a lead. I like Valhalla a lot. I don't think Mar Vista's played that level of competition yet. I think they're gonna get a little shell shock. So I'm going with the guys in orange.
Yeah, I'm going with the guys in orange as well. They had a scrimmage with Christian there, and apparently they handled him pretty well, and that kind of surprised me. So that kind of opened my eyes to them, and they've been playing well this year. I do want to talk about Hugh Anthony, or Dirty, as his teammates call him, at Mar Vista. Great story. We're going to do a profile on him actually tonight on San Diego Prep Insider, so make sure you watch that. But yeah, I think Valhalla is going to be too much for Mar Vista. Our sixth and final Pick 6 game, two schools right by each other on the 56, Torrey Pines at Westview.
My pick is going to go straight up front. I'm going with Westview. I picked them as the number 10 team. I love their defense. Their defense has just been, lights out all year so far. Torrey Pines, that's their one weakness. They have a tough time scoring. They got a great running game, decent offense, decent defense. But Westview's defense, I'm ranking those guys up there. They're playing excellent ball right now, and I think it continues. No disrespect to Torrey Pines, I think they're a great program, great team. I ranked them last week. I think Mission Hills took a lot out of them 2 weeks ago. They kind of exposed them where their weaknesses are, and I think Westview will take advantage of it. And I'm going to pick Westview to take the victory.
Westview is a lot better than people think about because they're kind of always an afterthought there in North County, but they have a very good team this year. But I'm going to go with Torrey Pines. I think Westview also has a wide receiver. Not a lot of guys are talking about Ben Ratzlaff. A great receiver. He'll probably end up in an Ivy League somewhere. That kid needs to get a little more attention. But Torrey Pines, I think they're going to be, again, similar to Lincoln, maybe not being so happy about last week. I think TP really kind of disappointed themselves about the Cathedral game. So I think they'll come in there and give it to Westview. So let's recap our Pick 6 picks. First game, we both have Helix over Cathedral. We both have Madison over Eastlake. You're on RB. I'm on LCC. So we got to be checking that one throughout the night. Olympian and Lincoln, we differ again. You have Olympian. I've got Lincoln, Valhalla, Mar Vista. We're both Valhalla. And then finally, we are disagreeing on Westview, Torrey Pines. So this should be a big game for a big week for one of us because we have, 3 disagreements. So someone's going to make up some ground. Our records right now, 13-5 for you, 14-4 for me. So I'm proud to say I'm one game ahead so far.
Yeah, you're the analyst, man. You get to see everything. So absolutely, I'll give you the one game up. But I think this is my week to make up some ground. Hopefully, I think the RBs, the Westviews, and the Olympians, I think they're going to do me right this week. Go in there and play hard and get me a couple of victories to catch up with you. Hopefully, even the score, maybe take a one game lead on you. We're okay. We still got a long way to go in this season, so I hope none of us get too much in the tank. I hope we stay competitive the whole year.
Yeah, I hope it's close. I want either of us to have terrible records or good records. As long as we're right next to each other, I'm happy with that. So anything else going on with the magazine or the recruiting service?
Everything's going really good. The recruiting service is starting to pick up now that the college football is in full swing now. Now recruiters are out seeking out talent. I think San Diego, this is going to be one of our biggest years to kind of get guys out there all the way around with the Division I, Division II schools, and also NAIA and picking up some of the Division III guys as well. I think that the Jacksonville States of the world, showing that they can compete with the Auburn's of the world, opens up a lot of doors for a lot of teams. I think also that a great thing was the Humboldt playing against Azusa Pacific. Actually, Humboldt beat them pretty bad in the beginning, and Azusa came back. But I think competitive games like that, the Division II realm, opens up the doors for a lot of kids in San Diego County. We're just really shining right now. I think there's a lot of San Diego players that are doing big things. I was privileged to go watch the Cal-San Diego State game, which we were very close in the beginning. Cal kind of pulled away. But it was some of the San Diego players that made an impact in that game on the Cal side, when Mustafa and all those guys. So this is going to be a huge year, for NBA sports and recruiting all the way around. The magazine, we're just going to continue to cover guys that deserve that shine. And then we have the All-Star Game and invitations coming up. So for the San Diego Friday Nights All-Star Game, which we'll have this year's going to be December 26th, the day after Christmas.
Christmas coming a day late then.
Yeah, we have to do it the day after Christmas, keep it that week. I know it's unfortunate for some people, but we want to make sure we still give those guys a shine. We'll be streamlining the game live, and there'll be scouts all in town that week that are originally from San Diego. So we should get a lot of love that week to get some guys some more exposure that are needed. So we're really excited on our end. And we're excited with you guys, man. San Diego Insider is doing really, really good. We're glad to be a part of the team, podcasting and everything, and sky's the limit, I think. We're rolling. How about yourself?
One thing I love about that game, and I don't know if you've changed it in the last couple of years, but the way that teammates can play against each other in that All-Star game, I think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, people don't know about our format. Our format is we get all the players that are invited that are committed to the game, and then we draft. So, I mean, we've had twin brothers go against each other, which is great. A couple of years ago, we had some twin brothers go against each other, and we'll always have competition, guys go against each other on the same team and whatnot, because I think it's important for them to get that experience, because at the next level of college, you're playing against a whole different new guys. Who was your enemy before is now your friend. They're your teammate, and vice versa. So I think this is our game is a little bit unique than the other All-Star games that are in the county, and we've had tremendous success, so we'll continue that.
And we'll look forward to that in the summer. We'll look forward to watching all these games this week, and we'll see everyone next week.
Absolutely. Have a good one, guys.